Good morning. Today is day 16 and it's a cold morning, around 50 degrees, windy, overcast. I don't think it's going to rain today. We'll find out, but hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. I mean, I like a cool hike, but this is cold. Slept well, pretty good last night. The group was fairly quiet. It's around 6:30. So today we go up to 6,500 feet, which is the highest point on the Appalachian Trail, to a mountain called Clingmens Dome. So that should be pretty cool. The goal is to do 15 plus miles to the next shelter. See you out there. This is the first bit of pine forest that I've seen in the Smokies, I guess because we're at such a high elevation, but I thought there would be a lot more. Okay, I just finished my hike up Clingmens Dome. I went up the ramp, up the tower. The elevation is 6,612 feet, highest point on the Appalachian Trail. Very cool, very nice, overcast and cool. It was really a blessing to climb up this mountain. Also want to give a shout out to Larry and Lynn. They were very kind to me. They met me on the tower and shared some fruit and snacks with me. So wonderful people from Texas. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, onward. I have 2 more mountains to climb today. I've just crested the second mountain. I believe it's called Mount Collins. And from here we got a long descent to some gap down to 5,000 feet. And then we got to climb back up 6,000 foot elevation for the third mountain and our shelter. It's probably 8 miles of walking still. Okay, I made it to the shelter. It was 15.3 miles and a lot of climbing. Why they put this on top of a 6,000 foot mountain, don't know. But it does have a nice view, as you can see in the background. Long day, tired. All the days seem to be long and hard, and I have to average around 15 miles each day so I can get out of here, because I only have enough food for 5 days. So I'm trying to maintain that, and I think one of my shoes, the sole split. Every time I step in mud I get water in my shoe, so that's an annoyance too. Other than that, the weather held out. It was good, nice, cool. It's going to be a cool night tonight. Good morning. Today is day 17. And it's about 7 o'clock. I slept in a little today. Still pretty cold up here at the high elevation. I had hoped for a nice sunrise with the view, but it was obscured. Today we're going to try and do about 12 and a half to the next shelter, which will put me about right for the following day to hike out of the Smokies. So don't know what the weather holds. It's quite cool right now, but it's good for walking. Here's the Smokies. So between the mountains, sometimes you don't go all the way down, you walk a ridge line. Literally, you're right on the top, valley on the left, valley on the right. And it brings you over to the next peak. Morning. Today is day 18. I didn't sign out last night because when I got to the shelter it was very crowded. Too noisy to make a video. In fact, it was so crowded it was horrible. It was the worst night in the shelter I've had. Bunch of young guys being rude, making a lot of noise, chopping firewood till 10 o'clock at night, making fires, and playing fart games. At some point, I had enough, and I yelled at him because I'm the old man. And it kind of brought an end to the festivities, and two guys got up and left, which was fine with me. Left more room in the shelter for me, but it wasn't a great night's sleep. So we're going to start the new day. I guess I've had it with shelters. There is one more shelter, but I'm going to try and get out of here and get to a hostel. Depending on which one is available, it's either 15 or 18 miles. So it's going to be a long day, but I think I have 3 mountains to go over, and then it's a long descent, so hopefully it'll be okay. Other news, I did get a tick on my leg. I took it off, cleaned it as best I could with alcohol. I'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully it wasn't there long enough to transmit Lyme disease. I also have a stubbed toe. Hopefully won't lose the nail, but I'm trying to nurse it a little bit. So if you were hoping to see a bear in the Smokies, you're looking at him. Grumpy old bear today. Well, let's hope it's a better day. It is a cool morning, good for hiking, so I'll try and enjoy it as best I can. Those are the views today. The Smokies are smoking. Interesting to note, I just passed a trail that leads to a shelter that got closed because a woman got bit last week by a bear. He took a little nip at her butt, but she's fine. The bear they terminated. And apparently they leave him there for the vultures or coyotes for a few weeks, and then they'll reopen the shelter. Okay, I just crested the last mountain in the Smokies, Mount Camera, and now it's going to be a long descent to the road, about 7 miles, and try and find a hostel to stay in tonight. The one I was hoping for is booked, so I'll have to see what else I can make arrangements for. All right, see you later. This is where I ended up tonight. It's the bunkhouse. Looks okay, but it's a dump. It's called the Standing Bear Forest, Tennessee. Okay, day's done. I walked about 18 miles today. The hostel I was trying to get into was booked, so I ended up here. It's called the Standing Bear Hospital. It's pretty well known as the place to go after the Smokies, but it's a place for kids. It's a dump. So I can't wait to get out of here in the morning and back to hiking. I need to get a rest, but I think in 2 days I'm in Hot Springs. Maybe I'll take a rest day here. I ain't staying here. Okay, have a good night.